Hi, my name is Neb Camus Sen Atumbre, and this is the 9th video in this series, Malachi's Mission Earth. Psalms degree 8, verse 5 says, "We bestowed on our servant David, also called David, the son of Yishai, Jesse, and Hilma. You have made him a little lower than the Anunnaqi, and have crowned him with glory and honor." Once the Anunnaqi had formed the flesh of Kadmon, Adam, Zakar, some of the Anunnaqi passing by the gate where the sacred records are kept in Ilyun saw him and marveled at his beauty, for they beheld Kadmon from the galactic heavens in long silence and wondered. As they were in the hall of records, they passed by the lamp and saw the body of Kadmon. They revealed in the praise of Anunnaqi El, the Most High, the creator of Kadmon. Kadmon, who was so tall, his head reached the 7 heavens, 7 feet, as in 7 heavens. All the Anunnaqi were commanded to bow down before this newly formed creature as the most perfect of all his creatures, and as the only one that was animated by way of his divine breath. Out of all the other 14, he could procreate as Anu. Israfel and Gabriel were the first to obey. Once the Anunnaqi had formed the flesh of Kadmon, the Anunnaqi were commanded to bathe the spirit of Kadmon in the sea of glory, Shafu'ane. This newly purified spirit of Kadmon, Sakina, which was created 1,000 years before the body, was enjoined to enter the shell-like body of Kadmon. The very plan to create Kadmon was done 1,000 years before it actually happened, but the spirit resisted because it was not yet willing to become one with the flesh of Kadmon. The first plan was not done until 1,000 years later. Thus El, the Most High, was greatly angered by this display of disobedience and decreed a severe punishment for the rebellious spirit of Kadmon. Many Anunnakis did not want to create Adam. El said, "You must enter the shell of Kadmon even against your will, and because you were disobedient, your punishment is that you shall one day be separated from the flesh against your will." Hence death was ordained to overtake Kadmon, and the spirit of Kadmon would have to relinquish the flesh. El, the Most High, forced the spirit of Kadmon into his body with such overwhelming rage that the divinely inspired spirit Sakina was transformed into the spirit of Halal Samum, which gave Kadmon the ability to defy the commandments of Anu. For the spirit Sakina represents the pure, illuminating light, and the spirit of Samum represents the creation of Halal by fire. The spirit of Kadmon rushed into his body, filling his nostrils and his head, and opening his eyes to the thrones of El, the Most High. The spirit then penetrated his ears, and he heard the echoing of the angelic beings praising the name of El, the Most High, whereupon his tongue was loosened, and he cried, "Blessed are you, your Creator, the Holy One and the Eternal." The Anunnaki responded, "Kadmon was created with the intent to praise his Creator and to invoke his grace and mercy. the spirit at last began to enter the limbs of Kadmon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and gleaming, they touched the earth in praise of Alun El, the Most High's sacred name. For he said in the scripture of Leviticus, the 19th degree, the 2nd verse, speak to all the meetings of the children of Israel and say to them, you will be holy, for I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am holy. When the spirit had reached the feet of Kadmon, he possessed the power to stand. But as he stood, he was compelled to protect his eyes from the blinding light that emanated from the throne of the sustainer. While he pointed one finger at the blinding rays, he shaded his eyes with his other hand. He inquired, "Oh, Alun El, what flames are these that have their origin with you?" Alun El, the Most High, answered, "It is the light of the prophets who will descend from you and will appear on earth in later times by my glory. For I have created the whole world as a tribute to you." Because of this, Muslims who we are granted the right to come before Allahu El-Aliyu, another name for Alun El, the Most High, in prostration, with eyes open in the direction of Mecca, Saudi Arabia, and with a pointed finger, bearing witness what the Mohammedans call tashahud. While the Anunnaqi praised the flesh of Kadmon, they foretold of the seed of the news bearers, how he would be born with a birthmark, a stamp or seal on him, who carried the title Ahmed in the heaven and Muhammad on earth, as a sign that the world is coming to an end. But Halal was alone in his disobedience, saying, "Baal," meaning nay. "But shall I, who am created of fire, worship a being of dust and mud?" All of this is the symbolic story found in the scriptures plagiarized by Tammuz for the seed of Seth, taken from the true story of the cloning of Adam and Eve. The word Baal is the Ashuric Arabic word for nay or but. This word and similar words of objection and interrogation, such as "but," "why," "how come," "who said so," "they said," "maybe," "perhaps," "I could have," "I should have," and the word "whatever" has been used by the Luciferians since their fall from grace as a means of provoking dissension and encouraging doubt. "Wherefore, come out from amongst them and separate yourself," said the sustainer, "and do not touch this unclean thing. Do not eat the flesh called pork, pig, or sow. It comes in many forms, so beware of it. And I will receive you, and will be your father, or a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Almighty." Taken from Holy Tablets, chapter 6, tablet 6, verses 439 through 473. Do you understand? Now all this happened in the heavens with Kadmon, man. Nekebau was cloned from Kadmon on earth. Thus, man is a celestial, heavenly being, and woman is a terrestrial being, earthly. Therefore, the devil preys upon the woman's physical needs. He knows that the woman loves to be pretty, flirtatious, and liberated, and hence she can easily inherit attributes such as vanity and even promiscuity. The devil gives women careers, equality, and women's liberation to destroy the family, thus controlling the man, Adam. From birth, women are taught independence and pride. These ideas are all products of the Western society. The Caucasian has you acting like men, while he has the men acting like women. The idea of the Caucasian society has completely drawn you out of place, thus leaving no room for the Negro African American. You no longer have those virtuous qualities that once adorned you, and the sad thing about it is you don't even care. Wake up, Negro African American women, before it is too late. Think of your souls and not your careers. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Proverbs 31:10. Now you must learn this: polarity. The fact that there is present or a manifestation of two opposites or contrasting principles or tendencies in the body. The positive masculine and the negative feminine. As you know, like charges repel and unlike charges attract. The magnetic field of man is a part of Earth's magnetic field, of which it is a part, and in which it moves independently. These fields are composed of positive and negative vibratory energies or forces. These forces are respectively called centripetal and centrifugal. Thus, the effect is centripetal, pulling, heavenly force, man, and centrifugal, pushing, earth force, woman. A centripetal force comes toward earth from the universe, and a centrifugal force comes out of the center of the earth. In ancient times, centripetal and centrifugal were called the forces of heaven and earth. They directly affect the construction of the male and female bodies. A man's sexual organs appear externally and downwards and are related to the centripetal force, which relates to heaven. The force comes through the top of man's head, crown seat. This is related to the 12 loves. In order to produce the higher part of man's structure, the sperm, life germ, must pass up the spinal column to the medulla oblongata, conductor of impulses between the spinal column and the brains, to the 12 cranial nerves, the 12 occult nerves, where it is then charged with the light that comes from the crown seat to the brow seat, the third eye, to the cranial nerves. After the sperm is charged with the light, it goes down the spinal column to the tubes of the testes, to the seminal tubes, to the ejaculatory tubes located between the prostrate glands, to the urethra, which goes through the penis and is gushed forth as mentioned in L's Holy Quran, chapter 86, verses 6 and 7. If the gushing forth is conceived, a total person is produced. Without receiving the electrical impulses obtained from the light, a person would be short of his mentality. Holy Quran 96 verses 1 and 2. The Nubian man has 9 seats. The heart seat is between the seats. It is the division of the lower part of man and the higher part of man. The heart seat emits a light that is pinkish in color because it is in tune with the white light from the 12 cranial nerves, the occult nerves, and it meets the red light of the lower part of man, the cardinal part. The 12 forms of loves are love of oneself, the most deadly, love of wealth, love of fame, love of success, love of mate, husband or wife, love of child, love of parents, love of brothers and sisters, love of one's word, the tongue, love of life, love of prophets, and love of Anu, Alyun El. This is the totality of all creation, mathematics, and the personification of the physical body and its ability to function on earth. The heart seat deals with the thymus gland that involves the sexual growth and maturity once you reach the age of puberty. It dissolves in the heart seat. It dissolves because you are now exercising both of these glands, the higher, which execute the decision of love, and the lower, which is the application necessary for reproduction, the procreation of life. It is at this point the thymus disappears and the person becomes either male or female, and the 12 lights are seen at this point. The decision of hate, which is the counterpart of love, is there at this point. Now in the case of women, the centrifugal force affects the body by the sexual organ. It is the pulling force and is shown by the effects of her body with the stages of the moon. The female menstrual cycle is approximately a 29½ day cycle which coordinates with the phases of the moon, making her symbol the square, while the male, his symbol being the sun, is a circle. The 4 quarters start from full to 3/4, 3/4 to 1/2, and 1/2 to full again. A secret name of the moon is Halal, meaning the crescent, a symbol of Diana, who is also called Sin, symbol of Baphomet, from the French Mahomet, for Mohammedan, the 5-pointed interlocking inverted star. The movement of the moon each year, 12 in each year, that is 3 sets of 4 phases, and is a symbol of the 5 P's, which are the roots of their laws, the Canaanite Caucasian laws: polytheism, politics, psychology, philosophy, and the penal system. Baphomet is also called the goat of Mendes. Here the goat is symbolized by the evil angels and demons. In the writings of Daniel 8:7, the ram and the goat are symbolic of 2 evil angels, empires at war. These 2 empires are a part of the first beast, the Babylonian Empire, mentioned in Daniel 7:4, Ezekiel 1:10, and Revelation 4:7. The goat is representing Alexander the Great, overpowers the ram, which is representing the Medo-Persian Empire. Alexander the Great is called the goat because the Grecian or Macedonian people are called the goat people of Igadi. About 200 years before Daniel, Alexander the Great named his son, which he had by his wife Roxana, Alexander Iagus, son of the goat. Successors of Alexander the Great are represented on coins by the goat's horns. Goats are horned animals used to represent evil along with the ram. The satanic goat of the witches' Sabbath is the goat called Baphomet, the goat of Mendes. He is the god of lust. It is illustrated as Baphomet by the 19th century French magician Eliphas Levo. He combined one image of the idol of the Knights of Templar, a Masonic group, the devil on the tarot card, the Satan of the witches' Sabbath, who appears as a goat, and the divine he-goat worshipped in classical times as Mendes in Egypt, a symbol of Amun-Re, the sun supreme being, the goat head with the eyes of the owl who sees in the dark. This he-goat is said to copulate with female devotees, daughters of Ishtar or Isis, Diana, as the evil angel did with witches. The name for one itself is a puzzle. It is usually explained